So nearby everyone, what's your favourite kind of fruit juice?
Apple's alright.
Raspberry.
Maybe like apple and mango.
That's a good choice, that. Mine's orange. Building an effective brand is a lot like dating, and it's a lot easier if you're very good looking or a complete snack. This said, this isn't always the case, as the brand Tropicana discovered when they spent millions of dollars redesigning their iconic brand, only to have to spend that amount of money again when customers missed an orange. So guys, are you familiar with the Tropicana brand?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what do they have on the front of their cartons, do you know?
The word Tropicana.
That is included.
Like a sun.
It's not a sun, it's
That's
the orange.
D, isn't it?
Is it an orange?
Yeah, it's the orange with the straw in it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's iconic now. Sometimes I'll have an orange cut in half. And if it's grapefruit juice, a grapefruit cut in half. Apple juice. But like, they are the guys who have like whatever the fruit that's in the juice, they have that on the front. And that's like pretty iconic, I'd say. Like when you think of orange juice in your head, like a carton of orange juice, usually you think of the carton with a piece of fruit, and you think of the carton with the orange, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty iconic at this point, isn't it? So in 2008, they were like, well, fuck this. Like, this is old shit. We need some new shit. So they paid a advertising agency called Arnell, and they asked them like, well, we need you to revitalize our brand. Like, we've got a lot of like public recognizability, but we feel like we need to change things up because we're getting a bit stagnant. And are we going to talk about this? Like, none of you guys comments.
I can't wait for someone in the comments to be. Do you know that this is interfering with the green screen?
Did anyone notice Carl's wearing a morph suit? I thought you were just going to deadpan the whole thing.
I was trying to, but like you guys weren't
just too busy
responding. I can't
giggling.
see
Breaking
anything.
down.
So essentially, Tropicana handed Arnell a blank check to help them maintain their sticky-fingered stranglehold on the juice industry. And what Arnell did is a bunch of research that discovered like Tropicana, one of the most well-known and recognized brands on American store shelves. That's the important thing, recognized, because everyone they quizzed knew what Tropicana was. Like, Tropicana, that's the shit right there. And Arnell decided, well, Tropicana's pretty well known, but we can do better. And it's that classic thing where a bunch of people thought they knew what people wanted. They thought they knew what everybody would find great. This small group of people who thought they spoke for everybody were like, do you know what would be really great? You should do this thing that's really fucking stupid. This thing that's gonna really harm your brand. That no one else is gonna get because it only applies to a small group of people who want this change. The vast majority of people who just consume the product in question and don't pay too much attention to it will be massively thrown off by this very dramatic change. Can you tell I wrote this morning? I wrote this article this morning.
I'm going to be completely honest with you, and I don't know about you two. I've not got a word of this article.
I'm just trying not to laugh.
I'm on board. I understand.
Okay.
I'm quite impressed because they said every single person we asked.
I can't see. I was trying to shake. I'm really sorry. Is everyone okay? Is everyone okay? No, I was trying to like. That wasn't a bit. I was like trying to stretch because it's really tight. I had to order the extra large one, but it still don't fit. So the skeleton will just fly in, I guess.
Oh my God.
I'm really sorry about that. So, Luke, what were you saying? Before I so rudely interrupted you by yawning?
Before you attacked me with a skeleton.
Yeah, sorry. I legit. I tried to yawn. Sorry.
I was saying that they said 100% of people asked knew what Tropicana was, and they thought, great, we can do better.
Yeah, and
they strive for better than 100%.
Better than basically complete and total market saturation. And what they did is they redesigned Tropicana. And the annoying thing is I'm trying to zoom in on this. Can I zoom in? I'm trying to. I can, yeah, there we go. So, you know what Tropicana looks like in your head, right?
Yeah.
So this is what they came up with.
Fuck is that?
That's Tropicana.
The most bland thing in the
looks
world.
like Waitrose, like the basic.
Yeah, it looks like
Sainsbury's basic.
It looks like store-bought, doesn't it? And there's a couple of changes there. But the first and foremost thing is like the Tropicana brand name is now no longer horizontal, it's vertical. And like, you know, that big, nice, bold typeface, Tropicana front and center, they move that. And that's that thing, that hubris there of like, well, everyone knows, like, juice is always Tropicana. The brand name doesn't have to be front and center. It fucking does when people like scrolling across store shelves. Also, the orange is now replaced with a glass of orange juice. The problem is, if you saw it there, it's not on the front of the carton, it's across two sides of the carton. And the problem there is, while that looks good in marketing materials, like the marketing material there, how do you normally stack orange juice in a shop?
So you like facing forward, like flat.
Side by side, yeah.
Yeah.
And so whilst this was like, good from a marketing perspective, it did not represent the reality which every customer lived in. So when you put it on store shelves, it looks shit. Like it doesn't stand out. It looks bad. You can't tell that it's Tropicana, a brand that the company has spent millions of dollars and many years building up. Mm-hmm. So it's like one of those things where it is one of the worst design decisions or rebranding decisions ever done in business. Because they had a winning formula and then changed it for no reason. Mm-hmm.
It's like those tasks you see in on The Apprentice.
Yes.
When they have to come up with a new product and a name and a logo, and it's always dog shit. It's
always wank.
How can they see that? How can they see that and think, yeah, that's good?
And that's The Apprentice. They've got a week to sort this out. This was one of Arnell was one of the premier creative agencies in existence. They were in business for decades and responsible for some of the most successful marketing campaigns of all time. Tropicana paid them between $30 and $50 million, depending on the source you consult, to do this. And this was the result of several months of research and work. And do you want to just hazard a guess at how long these cartons of Tropicana stayed on the shelves?
2 weeks.
A month.
Close. Nisha's close. It's 2 months. 2 months before they were completely removed from all stores and went back to the old packaging. And it's noted that within the space of a week, Tropicana saw a 20% dip in sales. That sounds like a big number, but to put that in monetary perspective, that represented a loss of $30 million.
Jesus.
So Tropicana, almost overnight, lost $30 million in sales from this change after already spending $30 to $50 million making the change, paying for all the advertising, and then a bunch of advertising campaigns around it. And the reasoning from the guy in charge of Arnell, Peter Arnell, is kind of hilarious because he was really proud of it. He spearheaded the entire campaign. And when he was asked, so why did you choose to put a glass of orange juice on the front instead of an orange? And his explanation was, well, whenever you look at cartons of orange juice, they always show you the thing that the juice came from. They never show you the juice. We wanted to show you the juice. And it's just that thing of,
what?
I can probably get it that it's an orange. There's not many leaps in logic you have to make to get from orange to orange juice.
I always thought that it was just oranges in the carton.
Yeah, just full on.
Just full oranges.
Just crammed full of oranges.
You have to squeeze the juice out yourself.
Oh no, you squeeze the carton to get the juice.
No, that's not like the Juicero thing. Do you ever see that in the Juicero?
No.
Oh, we're probably not going to get a chance to talk about this in a video. So Juicero was a hilarious flop, and basically they were trying to make cold pressed juice at home. Cold pressed juice was a big thing for a while, wasn't it? And they designed this custom-made thing called the Juicero that would come, and it basically, the marketing idea behind it was, the Juicero doesn't make us money, we sell it at a loss. But then you've got to get a subscription service for the bags of juice. And these bags of juice basically contain just vegetables and fruit, and you have to put it into the Juicero and it'll give you fresh juice every morning. Yeah. And I think it's one of those things where it was $100 million of research and marketing down the pan in 30 seconds because an interview for the New York Times or something like that picked up one of the bags and just squeezed it by hand. And it basically in that one moment completely destroyed business that had spent 2 years building up on millions of dollars. And it's one of those things where in marketing textbooks and stuff here's how you destroy a business. A business that was destroyed literally in 30 guys went. And he got more juice out of it than the machine did.
How did none of the investors or anything question this?
Exactly, and that's one of the thing is investors. It's like with NFTs and stuff in it. Yeah. You put numbers in front of them that look good, and then no one thinks well, how are you actually going to use this? What's with Tropicana, and you see it in marketing presentation, the picture that looks really good, but they're not thinking how is it going to be displayed on a store shelf? Oh, it's going to look like shit when we do that. It's like when you watch when Coca-Cola or whatever advertises in a movie. It's everyone has to hold the Coke can directly facing towards the camera. It's that's not how people, it looks unnatural and bad to the eye because that's not how it exists in our world. Mm-hmm. And yeah, lost nearly $100 million, or depending on which source you consult.
Any thoughts, Brad?
Are
you too distracted?
I've still got none of it.
If I'd have not yawned, this would be so wildly unsatisfying for everyone who's asked for this. So I'm going to take this. It really is uncomfortable.
I need a hand.
Which is one of the reasons why we've never done this before, because people don't know.
Holy shit, Carl's there.
He's a flowing head.
If people don't know, morph suits come in a variety of sizes, and I'm quite tall, so they are really uncomfortable for me to wear. Like to the point where my back hurts right now doing this. It's really, really not.
The interesting thing is, we can adjust how transparent we want it to be.
Yeah, you can. You can make it so like it doesn't even.
So like for the majority of the video, what we'll probably end up doing is at least leaving an outline so that people can sort of vaguely. I mean, there's enough for contrast. We may be able to actually cut you out, but
probably right
now we can just make you a floating head. So do you want to sort of like go?
Okay. Like this is why there's skeletons on the desk, isn't it? So I can hide that. Because that's what everyone wants. Because that's the thing, like, we can talk about this. Like, the most requested thing we've ever had to do in a fact theme video, and this is like a Patreon reward for the people on the Untapped side. So thank you to the patrons who voted for this, but the reason we've never done it before is, as we alluded to in the video, it alienates people who watch our content who aren't the people in the comments, because comments represent 1% of our audience.
Yeah.
And it's a really bad idea to only cater to 1% of your audience.
I think this is less like kind of alienating than when people just see a bit of a t-shirt that's like badly green screen, quote unquote, because they don't realize that's meant to be part of the joke.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
It's hard to not notice that a guy wearing an entire morph suit and getting green screened out is probably a joke.
Yeah, and there's probably people out there who are annoyed that we didn't lean into the joke more. It's because we don't find it funny. It's like it's literally been something that's been requested for 5 straight years. And it's that thing of like, when it's like when you're watching a movie. Yeah. Like, I think, like, no, watching Lord of the Rings. Have you ever tried watching Lord of the Rings with a person who knows all the behind the scenes stuff about Lord of the Rings?
Did you know that Viggo Mortensen broke his toe?
And you know when you sat there and you just wait and you're like, you like Lord of the Rings, but you know what's coming and it's them talking to you like, did you? It's like, yes, I fucking... So imagine that, but it's me on Twitter and every single day. It's like, do you know what would be really funny? Do you know what you should do? You should wear have you ever thought about buying a green screen morph suit?
Like, everybody would have the same reaction that we did, which was laughing for the first 2 or 3 minutes, and then it's just a green morph suit. Right?
The only time it's funny is if I, like, wave my arms around, but that's not funny to us right now. It's only funny to people at home. Like, if I was, like, picking stuff up and moving it around and all that stuff.
Do it one more time.
Do which thing one more time? What, punch the skeleton?
No. Like, make the plant move. Make the little lemon plant move again.
Woo! Look, it's moving.
Little flying joke.
But it's that thing like, the reason we don't really lean too much into in-jokes and stuff is because they're naturally alienating. So, like, if this is someone's first fact theme video, what are they going to think?
Yeah.
So am I supposed to take this seriously? Because that's the thing I was trying to... you know from behind the scenes that I don't like this. Because it's that thing of it's always presented as... And everyone who suggests it, everyone always acts like it's the most amazing idea that we've never had. It's like the thing of when people say, do you know your tattoo interferes with the green screen? It's funny the first time it happens, but when people act like we didn't know, like you must find that insulting as the people who like spend hours editing videos. Like, of course we know, it's obviously a joke, but then people think... And it's that thing of like, they think you're stupid. Like it feels like they're insulting your intelligence of like, it's not a thing you'd have thought of. So like, I hope the people who like, voted for this, they like it. I'm not sure what they're getting. That's the thing. I don't know what it's one of those things where I bet this was a much better idea in their head, and to see it in motion, it's so much less satisfying. Like, because it spends so long building it up.
It could be that it's more funny to other people than us.
Yeah, maybe they find it really funny.
Yeah.
I don't, because like I said, I'm in pain.
I mean, thank you to everyone that supported us on Patreon to do dumb jokes like this.
And they did give my girlfriend a laugh when I sent her a picture of me wearing it. She just sent the picture about zoomed in on my crotch and went, wear shorts. So I am wearing shorts right now, because if I wasn't wearing these, I'd get done.
I guess one thing we could end on is if you want something to happen that we're more likely to complain about and say we don't do it, we can do it as a patron reward. So become a patron, stick it on like a message there somewhere, and maybe we'll do it in a future stream.
We'll never do any suggestions unless you give us money.
What's the thing?
That's what Brad just said.
Well, basically, I've always said that. It's like the thing, we got all that criticism, like we turn the comments and stuff off. And it's like, but like, we support you, like, you owe us. And it's like, well, no, we put the videos out for free. We don't owe you jack shit. People on Patreon, you're paying us money. If someone wants to go on Patreon and pay us money to call me a dick, I'll sit there and I'll read that message. I'll respond to that message because you're paying me money. But I'm not going to sit here and be called a dick for free. Even when I was at work. I'm happy if people yell at me when I worked in a bar and stuff. Because, I'm being paid to stand here. As soon as my shift's over, you can fuck off. I'm going, it's my time. It's good. It's comfortable. You know.
It causes me great pain.
Like 2 minutes ago.
No, I mean on my hands and stuff like that. It's like, it's nice here. It feels nice.
How's little Carl doing?
Not well. Not at the moment. It goes around my arse crack as well.
Oh.
It's just all green and one bit of brown.
It's like I say, it doesn't fit properly. So if I like sit up straight, then it tugs down there.
It's like
that's what the seam is.
Whenever you do like all those trampoline things where they strap you into the harness, and over time you're like, this is getting less and less enjoyable. Oh.
So what are you going to do with the morph suit now that you own it?
I actually bought one years ago, but then I forgot to buy Joe for the joke because I was going to use it for a joke in a video once, but I left it like in a bag under my bed, and it like got kind of ratty. So these things don't last long. That's the thing. Morph suits don't last very long. They're very flimsy.
I'd make a Green Man joke, but I'm not even sure you've seen like the Always Sunny episodes with Green Man in them.
No, but I've seen all that the footage of like people at like concerts and stuff behind like the things. That I do think they are very, very funny when people stand in like out in public in them, but in front of a green screen where you like the joke is that you can't see me. I could have just done a voiceover.
We should have done that. We should have told everyone you were in a green screen.
What I should have done is I had it on for the start, for the intro, and then I walk out a frame and then record it from my frame, and then everyone just thinks you're really good at editing. Everyone thinks you're just so good at editing.
Or we could have done the entire thing with the blue screen and never edited you out.
I was tempted to do that, but I can't be arsed with that.
That would have been really funny.
It would have, that'd have been funny.
Yeah.
That'd have made me laugh.
I think if you don't plan on keeping it, what we should do is cut it into weird shapes and make you wear that. Like just the gloves.
We have the material, yeah.
Yeah. Just leave the gloves. You've got no hands.
Well, to be fair, one thing I do want to try this. Can you pass me the hoodie? I want to become Hollow Man. I do want to try becoming Kevin Bacon. I want to be Hollow Man.
Just be careful with the mic.
Yeah,
I'm going to try. So dainty.
That is the worst place you could have put that.
Yeah, it really is.
Give me a sec. It's hard being a green man. It's hard being a bit of lettuce. See, Joe would be funnier for people to like vote to see me like try to make my toast on a morning and wearing this. It's like recording a video and it's really silly. Like, why did I get me to do it and like go to the shops? See, like that's the thing, folks. You could have done so much more.
Well, you could have like, them ideas. It's not like we're closing the Patreon tomorrow, is it?
It's like put a green screen morph suit on and then go like try and make a tin of beans. There we go. My Hollow Man.
Perfect.
Have we stopped editing the green screen effects at this point? Just leave it like this.
I feel like this is the end segment, so we can add and remove it based on the effect.
It's true.
This is probably more entertaining for us than it is for people at home.
Yeah.
This is what everybody wanted. Hope you're all happy.
You are all happy with yourselves.
I hope they are happy because they're paying for this.
Yeah.
Is it worth the money?
Was it worth it? Is it as funny as you thought it would be, folks at home? This is as close I'm going to get to being a dancing fucking monkey, innit? I'm just like...
Say the line part!
Like, do it. Maybe it's vampire! We're done.
Oh my god.